Good evening, everyone, and welcome to LGE for this penultimate round in the Thursday tier, the final race of week 9 in RTG season 12, and we're here for the Spanish Grand Prix at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. Of course, quite an old circuit now in terms of being on the F1 calendar. It's been here for many, many years. So it's first arrived on the scene in 1991. We've got 14 turns around this circuit. It's 4.657 kilometres in length, 2.889 miles in length. There's 2 DRS zones down the start finish and the back straight between turns 9 and 10. And we'll have 33 laps to race a little later on. We're back to the normal full qualifying format for this evening. And to talk about those drivers that are on the track at the moment, Chuckle is leading the way in the championship. As you can see, riding on board with him on those intermediate tyres. And he, most likely, odds on to be crowned champion this evening. He's on 148 points, and his brother in the Alfa Romeo is on 119 points. Of course, these two were fighting for a championship this time last season, and Chuckle came out on top then. We'll have to see what happens, but basically, if Chuckle outscores Chuck, then that is that. And Bugatti is in 3rd place in the championship, doing very well in this Thursday tier. Racing Matt is 4th and Looney Man is 5th. The Ferraris are leading the way with McLaren in 2nd. Very, very close between those two. 1 point between them. So the Constructors' Championship is fully up for grabs at the moment with AlphaTauris with 170 points. So only 6 points between the top 3 teams for the championship. And as you can see, 16 drivers this evening. Another low number for drivers this evening, but hopefully we'll give you some great action like we did last night at COTA for the United States Grand Prix. And as we see week in and week out leading Q1, we've got that intermediate championship running and quite a few of them taking part this week.
Yeah, well, fortunately enough for them, there's only really one space to loss out and not be able to get through to the next qualifying session. I mean, many as that was 7 of them, so nearly half the grid there have already went and done some interval laps. Have the real look, seeing who's next up.
Well, we've had Danny take the top spot so far with a 1:12.589, only just ahead of Matty Jones in 2nd. Really is very, very close between those two with their opening lap. Looney Man makes his way around the final corner to start. Oh, sorry, he does finish the lap actually, but it said for a second he had full battery. But he goes 3rd fastest with a 1:12.6.
Yep. I think who's going to be up next? I think it's going to be Arg, as he's just around turn 13 now. But yeah, and a final 14. He doesn't manage to keep it in as tight as he would have liked. There's no 1:14.851. That's only good for 7th place right now. Still a wee bit off the pace of like the McLarens out in front there and Matty Jones.
And Prof goes 9th fastest, but it says he's got a full battery to deploy now, so potentially that was a bit of a cool down lap. It was a very fast cool down lap if that was the case. Only about 2.5 seconds off the leader as he starts another lap. RTG Lee is yet to come out the pits, as you can see with the tyres up on your screen. He might come out and do an intermediate lap, but he might have left it a little bit too late to do that now, as we're about 9.5 minutes left before the checker flag comes out as Prof goes through the left right-hander before turn 9 and is now negotiated turn 9. And he looks like he's come out with a pretty good deal as he makes his way into turn 10. Get it all the way to the right-hand side before flicking it back to the left to open up the corner for this right-hander again. And then just remember to keep your foot flat, or pretty much flat, through turn 13. You used to have to brake there and go through a chicane that's been taken away from this year onwards. And Prof goes 5th fastest, and it has turned that turn 14, the final corner, now into a bit of a beast of a corner, Lee. It's quite difficult to get that corner right now.
Yeah, I would say it's a bit different. It's been, how long was it? It was just a chicane for?
Since 2005 or 6, I think 6, so quite a while. It was about 15 years or so, 15, 16 years.
Yes, I still remember it on the PS3 like Championship Edition how it was like it was still on that, but then it just ended up turning into that chicane, and it was just terrible. But now we're seeing both of McLaren's 1-2 now. For now, anyway, in Q1, and the winning man putting a 112.522.
Well, as I said in the intro, Lee, the McLarens are doing very well at the moment. Obviously, second place, only 1 point behind the Ferraris, who at one end of the table and the other. We usually only talk about the top 5 in the calendar on the standings at the start of the stream, but Lee Craig is down in 16th place, Chuckle's teammate. So, not to feel like I'm being rude to Lee Craig or anything like that, but Chuckle's obviously really dragged the team along to still be in the lead of the championship.
Yeah, I mean, certainly. I'm just having a real look at Josh McGill there, the first person into the 111s.
Very, very quick. Another team in the fight for the Constructors' Championship. So, unless Chuckle has a really good day, Chuck has a really good day and Chuckle has a really bad day, then obviously we can't say until it's confirmed. But Chuckle looks like he's going to have quite a, pressure's still on, but it's almost a formality. Didn't really want to say that, but that's kind of how it's looking like. But we can get a bit excited over this Constructors' Championship League because it's going to go right down to the wire between 3 teams.
Yeah, certainly will go like straight down to the wire.
Okay, I'll say it to you in a second. Yeah, okay. Josh today is got one hand tied behind his back technically because he's the only one gathering points for the team. Whoa! Josh was going through. Oh, what? Did you catch that, Lee?
No.
It was Lee Craig was about to start a lap and Josh was coming through quite quickly, but he wasn't on a lap.
Ooh.
And he's kind of messed up the start of Lee's lap and he went off the track and took out a couple of the marker boards, Josh McGill, before he came into the pit. So if I was Lee Craig, I wouldn't have been too pleased about that. If you want to see it, Lee, you can see it actually on the live stream. So you will be able to. You will be able to see it actually. So I'd like to hear your opinion on that because that was quite strange. As we're seeing Lee going through turns, I think 7 and 8.
I think what it was just a miscommunication between the two. I think Lee thought that Josh was on a lap, fortunately he wasn't, so hence how he moved it over out of the way.
Sorry about my coughing there. Still getting over it. As Lee's
coming the final corner across the line, 112.8.
So of course, only being 16, we're only going to lose one driver in this first session, and no one out of the 16 want to be that one.
No.
but someone is
It's
going
going
to
to be
have to
Chuckle.
be.
No, it is not.
That would be interesting. We'll see what he does now. Goes fifth fastest. His teammate
112.
is ahead of him because there is a 29-point difference between the two. So I say it's a formality. It's not so much, but Chuckle just needs to finish the next two races. That's all he needs to do, really. As long as he gathers points, we think he will do it. But obviously, if Chuck suddenly now gets pole, or the fastest lap, and then gets the win, and Chuckle crashes out, then we're a 1 point difference when we go into the last race.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I might need to change my huggies after that one. Just seen Lee almost go right in the back of Matthew there as they were going into the pits, but fortunately enough, Matthew went and ghosted there.
So it's all gone rather quiet. Now I think Arg's about to start a lap, and Aki's just finished one, I think.
Yeah, I think Aki has just finished one. Matthew's deciding that's it for Q1.
When you're in the top 4 or 5, Lee, I'm not surprised drivers are retiring.
Yeah, true. I mean, that gap is quite considerable, to be honest. Some drivers are able to pick up a lap a bit better than others here tonight. But I'm on board with Prof as he's just came around turn 9 and he'll have that DRS wide open as he comes down to turn 10, which used to be a lot tighter.
Yeah, I prefer turn 10 now.
I do, it's quite nice. And turn 13, 14, I prefer them now. Oh my god, I hated that chicane. It sucked. But Prof, coming around the final corner now, final stretch to the line, 112.888.
Well, we're just watching Arg now, who's coming around. Oh, he's coming around turn 12, and he was very, very wide, almost like he was prepping for a lap. And he dives in. Oh, he misses the. Wow. No, he's not.
So, Arg's
Wow.
going to be the one that's out.
He is going to be the one that's out. I'm just a bit speechless that he reversed around the final corner. Yeah, no, that surprised me. So we've got drivers on laps, Lee, and really, I almost am. We could sit here and have our feet up now because we're literally just clock watching.
Yep.
It's like paint. It's like watching paint dry, getting paid to watch paint dry.
Wouldn't mind
Fun
that.
fact, I actually have once. Little. Yeah.
How?
Good old Richard.
Ah.
Yeah. My dad literally asked me to sit and watch paint dry when I was about 17 or 18 because it was a downstairs flat that my dad had painted and he had to leave the windows open and he had to go off and do other things, so he didn't want to just leave the house like with all the windows open left there. So he was like, I'll buy you like a Burger King or a Domino's or whatever I had, and he was like, Mum's giving you the laptop with some DVDs, like you just got to sit there for 4 hours. Obviously like 20 quid. I was like, yeah, fine, I'll do that.
It was like a garbage in them.
So yeah, little Joe fun fact there. I watched paint dry and got paid for it. This is a little bit more fun than that, even though there's nothing to be gained. But we just got Fox, who is the only driver to have gone through into Q2, Lee, on the mediums, which I feel like that's a pretty good call from him, to be honest. It's left him another set.
Yeah, true, and well, you managed to get through quite nicely there. I mean, the gap is what, 6/10? No, 1.6, sorry. Never looked at the seconds there. Then that's before he's going to finish this up. What's he going to do? I think
We'll find out in a minute. And just before you say the rundown, mate, I hadn't drank anything from my tea for a good like 5 or 10 minutes, thinking it was going to be cold, and because it's so hot, it was not cold.
Jesus. Well, we'll have a wee quick rundown of the results from Q1. Josh McGill getting that fast slab 111.9. Only person in the 111s who got Coyotte's Gamer last week's winner. And Chuck and Matthew Chuckle, Looneyman, Danny, Lee, Matty Jones, Bugatti, Prof, Royal Rumble, Fox Sumo, Pern Bowden, and Aki. Unfortunately, only one being knocked out here this evening right now is Ark. He won't be moving on to Q3. Q2, sorry, Jesus. Or Q3, they'll be moving on to that either.
I was going to say, do you have a TARDIS in your room, Lee? Have you just...
A little.
You've just gone a bit too forward in time there, mate. As now we get into Q2. Go from 16 drivers to 15 drivers. I just absolutely almost shit myself because I forgot there was a cat in the window. And then I looked up and I just had these like green eyes looking at me. It was very weird. Anyway, 15 drivers now with 15 minutes on the clock. We're just a bit under that now after I got frightened by a cat. And as I said, we lost the one driver. And shh, I'm trying to be professional. And we're waiting to see some drivers come out, which they already are.
So it's my Jones is going to be
Get it together, Mr. BT. Crying out loud. I feel like he's gone after that. I can still hear you laughing. There you go. As shut up, Joe. As Fox Sumo having a bit of trouble actually out of turn 5 on the mediums again.
Oh. Wait, how's the medium? Huh? I thought you only get like a set of the mistake you get is one hard and one soft. Two soft and...
Yeah, that's what he's done, isn't he?
Oh, I never knew it was two soft. Two mediums he got. I thought it was just one each.
Yeah.
Soft
It was Fox Sumo that did the medium lap before, wasn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But right now it's Matty Jones who's going to be the first one to, well, on a lap anyway, as he's just coming around turn 3 now, making that 50-metre board for turn 4. We're getting a little bit sketchy in the mid-corner. Having to open up that steering just a wee bit to counteract the slide. We'll go up this chicane bit here, there's a little S section up into turn 9. Yep, love that corner to be honest. It's one of them ones, either side of risk or reward sort of one. 10 and 11, we've got a yellow flag in sector 2. Seems like there's a full movement there from a corner. So coming around the final corner now, we'll be able to see what his time will be. 112.265.
Good lap for his first attempt. Who's up next? I believe it's one of the McLarens. It's Danny. Then it'll be followed by one of the Alfa Romeos, I think.
Yep, that's Chuck. He's on an out lap right now.
Okay, so he's just starting at that. We've got a Red Bull behind him, who invalidated. He's come into the pits. And now
the next one up, coming across the line of 113.772. He's going to need to get a quicker lap in than that.
As Looney Man makes his way around the final corner, what's he going to do? His teammate second at the moment. He goes fourth with a 1:13.4. He did a lot better last time around. His Fox Sumo does a 1:13.3. Not a bad time on the medium tyre. His Queeks Gamer gets a lap in, and then Josh McGill with a 1:11.5. It was a 1:11.9 for him at the end of Q1.
Oh, and Matthew deciding really like to try and get into the pits there. Or getting out of the way anyway of drivers. Weird. But then we've got Chuck just coming around the final corner now. We'll see what the second place driver in the Drivers' Championship is going to go right now. He's in fifth with a 1:12.5. Oh,
As Perm Bowden, yeah, he's gone off the road at turn 13 there. 12, sorry. And we've got the two Ferraris on a lap. The first one up is Chuckle as he makes his way down to the new turn 10. And then it subsequently goes straight into turn 11, which is really a nothing corner in these cars. Right-handed turn 12, and then we've got another double right-hander here with that Alpine. So close as we make our way around the final corner. That was a nice line there from the driver at the top of the championship, our reigning champion at the moment, and he goes third fastest with a 1:12.181. And what is the other Scarlet Ferrari going to do? Just like we see in the Drivers' Championship, Lee, right at the other end of the scale is RTG, Lee.
Yeah, sorry, I was just on board with Per Boden. I was wondering what in the world it was he was doing. Is I think it was Chuckle that I was on board with, and he was just coming up, well, going into turn 13. On the entry there was Per Boden just sitting there. And he wasn't able to use up as much of the track on the entry as he would have intended to. Either that or it would have been a crash, which could maybe see some proceedings happen. He was on an in lap and keeping out of the way. We've got Royal Rumble right now, just coming around turn 4.
Yeah,
the one who's set a lap.
Yeah, he's yet to set a lap. A person ahead of him who has set a lap, but not a representative one, is Matthew, and he's coming into turn 10. And he just had enough battery stored to go for another lap. By the looks of what he has left, he's got enough to finish the lap as he goes through turn 13, which is a flat-out corner, slight little lift, maybe a touch of the brake pedal, depending on your preference, through turn 14. The man in 14th goes 8th fastest, just behind his teammate, the driver second in the championship.
Yep, he's real close to his teammate there, getting in nearly identical times. But we're just... How long is it left on the clock? I hate how it never tells you.
Yeah, I know, it's awful. It goes 7.5 minutes, and Royal Rumble set a lap time whilst we were finding out how long was left, and that was a 1:12.609 that leaves him in 9th place for the time being. Of course, plenty of time to do another run. Some are going to do 2, I think, as Bugatti has started his next lap.
Just having a look. So Bugatti on his lap now. See, is anyone else? No, that's that. He's on his lap, isn't it?
He is, yeah. He is. The only one.
Yep, so he's just coming around turn 4. Using up quite a lot of the track on the exit, getting on that curve on the entry for turn 5. And on the exit there, he is just coming up to the little S section of 7 and 8 up the hill to turn turn 9, sorry. You're out pretty much here. If you've got the cojones to do it, that is. Yeah, it's just coming into 10, just breaking slightly after that 100 metre board. Round for turn 12. Basically, quite a few U-bend type corners here. Around the new turn 13, well, new slash old. Across the line, has he got enough to keep it in? Yes, he has, a 112.264. Just a thousandth of a second quicker than Matty Jones there, who's sitting in 5th.
Yeah, it's very close between the whole top 10, apart from Josh McGill. So 2nd through till 10th, I think could still be at risk of being out in Q2. So they'll all certainly have to go again, because there's only 5 tenths between 2nd and 10th.
Well, certainly quite a few of them will have to go again. I'm on board with Prof if he's just coming around turn 5 there. He's not quite a lot more of the track on the exit than what Bugatti did. You see that he's getting just a little bit much on curbs there. Well, more than Bugatti was anyway. So he's trying to use up as much of the track as possible.
He's quite cautious through. And he hasn't used a lot of battery there. I think he's.
Ah, he's boxed.
He's bailed out. And Fox Singhu, he's in the final sector of his next lap. He did a lap on the mediums. He's going to have to use the soft tyres before then. As did you say Perm Bowden just finished a lap, and Fox Sumo, as I said, now just coming across the line to go 2nd fastest.
Oh. And he just pips that from Aki there.
And Aki as well, done a very decent time. So Perm Bowden looking at risk at the moment. With just under 4 minutes, I think he might just have enough time to get in and get back out again. But he has to be quick at getting back in.
Oh yeah, certainly. On board with Shock there, and as he was going through the right and left section of turn 1 and 2, he's absolutely flying through there. So if he manages to keep this up, then I could see a possibly good lap coming in. Of course, he's about a second off of Josh McGill right now. But bearing in mind, all he needs to do is make sure he is in that top 10 at least. Now we're going to be coming up to the end of Sector 2 now. He's up by 3/10 on his time. Where shall we say that could possibly put him into 4th or 5th? Roughly, depending on the outcome of this Sector 3. He's just got one corner to go. And here he is. DRS will be open on the final little bit to the line. A 111.8 goes 2nd. Absolutely smashes that final sector there.
He certainly did. And we'll see what Looney Man can do now as he's about to finish his lap, potentially his final lap of Q2. Down in 14th, the 113.461 to beat. He does beat it. He goes 8th fastest with a 112.2. It is so close in that midfield pack. I say it like I'm surprised every week, but we almost get this week in, week out from the Wednesday and Thursday tier, really.
Yeah, pretty much. But the Royal Rumble, he's missed the apex a little on turn 14. He manages 112.798. I think he will have enough time to go again, but you'll need to get that battery charged right up. Ross just started his lap, so we'll check back in with him in a moment.
Royal Rumble's going slowly, so I think that will be his final attempt. It's looking likely he will be out. Got a few drivers on out laps. I'm
My
surprised how
God.
many of them have not come out the garage. Actually, some of them are now, but no, actually, none of them are. And apart from maybe Josh McGill and Chuck, Fox,
Yeah.
obviously, I think, didn't have enough time to go again. As Matty Jones now goes third fastest. 4 drivers now in the 1:12 ones.
Got to say, that is quite exceptional from the lot of them. Oh, man. It's just... I don't know up there, but I don't think he was.
As Prof goes 13th, so he's going to be out.
Yeah, we've got Danny just coming across the line in a moment. He just came around the final corner. See what time he's going to be able to put in. He didn't improve, so he's got enough battery to go again.
I
Matthew's
think
just
that's what he's doing. Yeah, Matthew's just started. We've still got Coix, who's yet to start. He's certainly going to have to go again. I definitely can see Looney Man, Bugatti, and Chuckle, if he doesn't get his next lap in, at risk of going out in Q2 as he makes his way through turn 10, quickly onto 11 and into the real corner of turn 12, where those two, 10, 11 and 12, are really the corners you gain so much time here. And he now dives into the pit. So I really do think he's at risk here as Looney Man now comes round the final corner. And he goes 7th fastest. As Royal Rumble crosses the line, he doesn't improve. Who else have we got? We've got Coix on a lap. Danny, who is also going to be out. So it's Perm Bodenley or Coix Gamer, the only two that can now save themselves. What's Perm Boden going to do? He goes 2/10 faster, but he's still in 15th place. Coix, the driver who's won twice this season, one of them being last week in Mexico. Is he going to make his way into Q3 and knock Bugatti out? I don't think he did. He didn't. Coix Gamer is out of qualifying.
No, I missed what the gaps were there. Not a lot there. I'll say that. 6/10 between the top 10. Incredible. Josh McGill getting that fastest lap. A 1:11.578. Was that about 3/10, 4/10 quicker than Q1. Got Chuck in second. And he's wanting to score as many points as he can, hopefully getting that pole position for himself to keep his title hopes alive. Matthew in third, fourth was Matty Jones, Fox Sumo in fifth, and I was gibbering a lot of rubbish there, so I'll go back on the stream and here we quick look. So we had Fox Sumo in fifth, Ake in sixth, Chuckle in seventh, Looney Man in eighth, Lee in ninth, and in 10th was Bugatti Sloven, the ones being eliminated were Coix Gamer, Danny, Royal Rumble, Prof, and Perm Boden. There we go.
So, sorry, I was sorry about that. I was just finishing typing something. So, as we get into Q3, the drivers are now getting out on the circuit nice and early just to make sure they get their banker lap in. And then their final lap is Clay the Monkey joins us. So we're going to have 17 drivers, Lee. So that's a little bit better. A number we're more used to seeing.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pity he couldn't join us earlier on, but regardless, we will have him for the race.
So who is going to be up first? I think it's the driver I'm on board with, Josh McGill, the driver that's led both sessions.
Yep, it's going to be Josh McGill who's going to be up first to settle up.
And then one of the Alfa Romeos, I think. I think it is Matthew. His dad again is cheering him on this evening. It's lovely to see. And then we'll have the Haas of Fox Sumo, and then the Mercedes of Aki after that. We'll concentrate on those for the time being, as we'll go for a lap with Josh McGill as he makes his way down towards turn 1. And into turn 1 he goes now, and through turn 2, the left-hander. Try and use that AstroTurf on the right-hand side there. Give you a little bit of extra grip as we go flat out again through turn 3. Haven't seen that for a couple of years in real life or the game, but able to do that again now. Turn 4, tricky corner. Make sure to get that apex and then get the exit curb on the left-hand side as we go through into turn 5. Little lock up on the entry there from Josh as we go through the kink of 6, and now the chicane of 7 and 8. Watch out for that yellow sausage curb. And now through turn 9 is Lisa having the cahoots to keep it flat through there, and DRS open for the second time on this lap. Went a little bit wide there into the entry of turn 10, then getting a bit squirrely at turn 11. Cutting back right, just keeping off the curb and then getting a touch of oversteer. This has not looked like the perfect third sector for Josh McGill, and tries to get on the power early, misses the apex of 14 as he crosses the line. Still doesn't want to 12 at 0 at least. That's pretty impressive with the amount of sliding he was getting, as Matthew goes on to provisional pole with a 111.7.
Nice lap there, still a couple of tenths off of the fastest ever Q2. Just having a look, I think Lead is next. No, it's Aston Martin.
Oh, it's a Bugatti Slovan goes on to provisional pole with the time set very close to the time we had, the fastest time in Q2. And the driver that's third in the championship, he's had a very, very good season so far. Got into Q3 by the skin of his teeth, and there it is. Pulled one out of the back.
Yep, up next, Matty Jones pushing a 112.6, then after that was Luniman in the McLaren, the 112.5. That puts them both 7th and 9th respectively. Chuck, the only one yet to settle up, he's just coming around turn 5 now. So still a way to go for him. I'm sorry, I keep hiccuping that. But Chuck's just coming around turn 9 now. He's got a Ferrari just up ahead. I think that maybe... Is that Lee just up ahead? Yes, it is. So it's really going to get out the way quite nicely. Yep. Into the pits he goes. Chuck coming around the final corner now. Seeing what time the lad's able to put on the board. He goes second. A 111.750. He beats his
2,000. Yeah, 2,000 of a second between second and third. Bugatti now in the pit. So after the first round of 2 in Q3, I'm sure Bugatti will be driving into the pit lane with a bit of a wry smile on his face, I think.
Oh yeah, certainly. I mean, he's out there going as fast as Bugatti there, getting that 111.561 nicely done, and he's what, 2 tenths up on his nearest competitor right now. So he's just got to hope that that time doesn't get beat. That is.
It looks like... No, I think Jekyll's coming in. He's just recharging the battery. So he's the last driver out on the circuit, yet to come back in to get a fresh set on and put some more fuel back in the car. We'll have about 2 or 3 minutes of quiet now before we get going again.
Yeah, so we've just got a wee moment that we could just chill for a moment before we'll be able to get onto this 33 lap race. I'm just wondering, I reckon it's most likely going to be a dry race, judging by how quick everyone was
Yeah,
able to get.
yeah, we've not heard anything different, have we? Oh, Looney Man's already going out with just over 5 minutes to go.
He is definitely a winny man, coming out quite early. But then again, he's wanting that track to himself, nice and clean and no disrupted air. So we'll see how that is going to fare for him. He's just on his outlap right now. There's still been no other activity in the pit lane as of yet. Doesn't look like anyone is making any moves just yet. They're probably going to be waiting for the last few moments before they can.
Well, potentially, they're just keeping an eye on the stream at the moment, or looking on their little TV screen that comes down. You can watch drivers out on the circuit there. So they might be keeping an eye on what Looney Man's doing. They've actually got enough time, Lee, to watch this lap from Looney Man, unless he's doing 2 out laps, of course. But I think they've actually genuinely got time to just sit back and watch what Looney Man can do before they all go out.
Yeah, I reckon there's plenty of time. I mean, let's see how much of that. There's 4 minutes left on it. Yeah, they'll still have time to watch the whole lap.
So as Looney Man goes on to his lap, makes his way into turn 1, taking a lot of the curve on the outside before turning into the turn 1. You could hear it on your TV screen as Looney Man comes through turn 3 into turn 4, gets nicely into the apex there. Get right out onto the curve on the outside, get back to the right as quick as you can to turn left-handed through turn 5 and get all your car over the curb as much as possible before going out of track limits. And then we hit the brakes for turns 7 and 8. And now keep it flat through turn 9. This is the time of qualifying where you're definitely going to have to keep it flat through there to get the best lap time you can. As he goes 2 tenths faster in that middle sector through turn 12, and now 2 right-handers that are very, very fast. A little lift through turn 14. Keep your head down to the line. He goes 7th, and I don't think he's going to be able to do any better this evening after that.
Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to have enough time unless he's refueled at well, had to put in a little bit extra fuel in that car, so he's got time to do
yeah. He has.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get the battery recharged.
Well, he does seem to be doing it quite well up to now. He's already got up to 45% there, like. So, doing quite nicely there.
You need about what, 75-80% to do a lap.
Roughly about that, but even then, remember, when you start reaching 10% or lower, it goes into sort of like battery saving mode, and yeah, you don't get as much deployment for some reason, which is a bit annoying, but at the same time, hey ho, these things happen. Let's see who's going to be next up. I think it's just going to be Looney Man who's going to be in a lap, or is it Mercedes or Apple? It's going to be Mercedes Wacky as he's just starting his lap, his final attempt.
And Bugatti hasn't come back out again, though.
Oh.
So he's setting that one and only lap in Q3. Still on provisional pole as Looney Man goes on to another lap, and he had 70% as he crossed the line, so I think he might be all right.
Well, Aki on the other hand, he's down in 8th place, and in order to get up to the leader, he's going to have to put in 8 tenths quicker in order to get that pole position. Whether he can or not is another matter.
As the Alfa
Who was it?
Romeo nicely out of the way, and I think it's the Mercedes that will be up first, and then it'll be Looney Man again, setting another time.
It's one thing that I have noticed in this Q3 session is it's all the majority of the cars in Q3 are Ferrari powered.
Yeah, obviously they're equal powered, but yeah, that is true.
Okay, Ferrari engines in.
Ferrari engines.
Yeah.
A McLaren with the Mercedes engine in the back goes seventh. Check flags out. Bugatti can't go any faster. Josh McGill is in the gravel, so he's not going to challenge for that pole either. Who is up next? It's Chuckle, the man leading the championship. This will do him a huge favour just to get this extra point, to get himself one step closer to the championship. He might do. He goes on to provisional pole with a 111.520. It's Matty Jones that is up next, and Matthew will be close behind him, I believe, and then Aki after that. I think we've got Chuck as well, who's going to set a time. What's Matthew going to be able to produce? It's a 112.9, and he moves him up to 9th. And here comes Matthew around the final corner now. And he goes on to provisional pole. And the only man that can fight that now would have been Aki, but he's going slowly. So that's it. Mr. Saturday gets himself another point in qualifying.
That was just
very close between the top three, though.
That was tense there.
Less than, yeah, just under 3/4 of a tenth between the top three.
Jesus. What?
Whereas Chuckle gets himself a fly place grid penalty for illegal blocking.
What the? Fudge knuckles? No, that is bull.
Oh, Prof has just left the session.
Yep, I think that's fair that we do a restart for that, because
yeah,
that was AI controlled and completely out of his hands.
So we'll have a reset, as we normally do in these situations. We don't do it any other time, but we will be back. Actually, before then, Lee, I think we should still do the rundown as it would be, obviously without the 5-second penalty.
So, we've got Matthew, who was in first place, and we'll get that pole position and that extra point. Chuckle in second, just narrowly missing out on that pole position, and Bugatti Sloven also in third place. Chuck in fourth, Aki in fifth, Josh McGill in sixth, unfortunately going off into the gravel at the end. Looney Man in seventh, Fox Sumo in eighth, ninth is Matty Jones, and Lee was in 10th. So, I usually say in a few moments we'll have the rest, but right now we're going to have to do a restart because the AI is stupid, pretty much.
And that is an understatement. So as I was going to finish, I'll finish now. Under these unusual circumstances, we don't normally do it. We'll just pause the stream for a minute or two, as it is quite hot. So I'm going to have a drink, and we'll be back in literally a couple of minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for waiting. We just decided to get going once we had restarted. The grid will be what we remember. We'll refresh our memories, though. If anyone doesn't remember, we've got Matthew on a pole position. Chuckle will be in second. Third is Bugatti. At the moment, they're all on the soft tyre lead, which is quite interesting. It's starting to change a little bit now. Of course, all having a fresh set now, and we have the extra in Clay the Monkey. Arg finished last in qualifying, as Clay didn't take part, so he starts from the back of the grid. It may get a little bit longer than usually as well, because drivers will have to put their setups on. If anyone's listening, might have queued you. We almost forgot on Monday.
Yeah, I remember that, and yeah, the amount of times that we've actually done that is just unreal. It's just one of those easily done mistakes, like a rookie error. Oh, no, this is looking...
Yeah, it's changing now, isn't it? We've got medium tyres in the mid-pack from 7th to 14th. Got one driver on the hards, Josh McGill, who had made an error on his final lap in Q3, so wasn't able to challenge for pole. He led both sessions before then. So, while we wait, has there been any change to those strategies? Big change now. Most drivers on the mediums. Most drivers have gone off the soft tyres. 3 at the back are on the soft still. We've got the chap on pole position on the soft tyres, and the driver in 4th on the softs as well.
So Josh McGill is the only one who's went hard. Quite a few softs as well. Yep. But like you said, there's not many. Majority is all medium.
Yeah, which is usually the better tyre to go on.
Oh, it's down to 3 now on the softs.
Oh, okay.
Quite the monkey making that medium start option.
Well, potentially we'll get going about now, as we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 red lights. And we're away for the Thursday tier. Spanish Grand Prix, and Matthew hasn't moved. And now he's got himself going. I have no idea what happened there. Sorry, we missed the turn 1, and Chuckle is in the lead, and his championship rival is right behind him. As Bugatti now loses a place. He's trying to go at the inside of Josh McGill at turn 3. And the two Hasses almost going side by side there. There's a McLaren as well of Danny trying to make up places. The two Hasses switching places, with Matty going up, and now Lee trying to go around the outside at turn 5 as we get on the traction. And then there's a Red Bull of Coit's Gamer, the driver who won last week, is now down in 15th place, as well as Aki, who is dropping down the order as well as he's spun out at turn 8.
Yeah, but I think what happened with Matty is I think he was just not back in time for the restart. Seeing that the two horses are battling out, and then Lee trying to take the opportunity of the two horses battling out in order to get up. Yeah, well, we quite up position changes, so Josh McGill's up 3 places now. He's moved up into 3rd. Clay the Monkey, though, making some impressive moves, and now he's moving up into 9th place, and now he's hunting down Lee in that Ferrari who's sitting at 9th. And here he is, he's going for it. He's going to go trying to attempt around the outside, going into turn 3 now. He's got the inside line. They're going to be going side by side just to come to the exit, and that Williams is going to be possibly moving up into 8th place now. There we go, and he is on a charge now, moving up 9 places in the opening 2 laps. You see Looneyman and Matty Jones are swapping places also. So I think Clay the Monkey's the one to watch for now.
Yeah, in the Sol Williams this evening, taking that car at the very last minute. making some daring overtakes as the top two are fighting for position. As it stands right now, the Chuckle would be champion. Chucky's in the place he needs to be in. So he needs Chuckle to make an error or lose some of this pace he's got right now.
Well, right now I think he needs to actually get... Well, he had it there for a moment, and he just needs to get that fastest lap. And the winning hope Chuckle doesn't get any points, because that will spoil his race, I think. Monkey up 10 places now.
Yeah, no, he just moved. I was just about to say he moved up on Fox Sulu there, and as you said, he's on an absolute charge on the medium tyre, as most of the field is, as he goes into turn 5. Had a splendid first 2 laps. We're now on lap 3, so that means DRS is enabled. The first time it is enabled is here at turn 9, where we're seeing the 2 leaders going side by side there. Chuck just goes slightly off the track. That means he had to lift off, and Chuckle is able to move back up into the lead, is where he wants to be. But great racecraft and respect between the siblings there.
Yeah, we're just looking further back. It didn't seem like there was going to be any other battling going on. But then again, we've got here, we look at Chloe, see if he's going to be able to do anything. He sent the fastest lap there at 114.7.
Sorry, Lee. Chuck has just made his way past Chuckle once again and gone up into the lead.
Yeah, I'm watching on board from Josh McGill here. He's just got a great view of these two battling out. And it looked like Chuckle was having a wee peek down the inside to turn 4 there. And Clay the Monkey doing exceptional, coming from the back of the grid. And he's up in the 17th. And oh!
Yeah, Matty Jones. Did he get a bit of a tap up the rear there? Or was he just a bit too hasty on that throttle pedal?
Yeah, he might have just got going a little late, possibly.
I think Chuckle's going to have a go again here for the lead. Josh McGill is up to 3rd place as well, and he's right behind them. Of course, won last night. Is he going to make it 2 in a row in week 9?
We'll soon find out. We're seeing Winnieman close on the back of that Haas car just ahead of him, but he's got the DRS advantage. We're seeing these two battling out and swapping places quite often, the 2 leaders. And Josh McGill's just sitting there quite comfortably, not wanting to get involved, which I would say is quite the intelligent thing to do right now, is let them waste their tyres and get them all scrubbed up.
So still, all the way down to 14th league, they're all in a big, long DRS train right now.
Yeah,
absolutely nothing separating them. How far are they from the leader? It goes down to 14th. It's only 6.5 seconds between 1st and 14th, and they're only lap 5 as Josh McGill is struggling on the hard tyres now. Usually pretty good in the first few laps, and then they seem to drop off a little bit in the middle part of the stint. That was Bugatti making a mistake there, and it means that Looney Man might be going around. He is going around the outside at turn 13, moves up into 5th place. As Chuck.
Sorry, Clay the Monkey moving to the right hand side of Bugatti Slovan. They're battling out, and Clay just managed to be a little bit later on the brakes, and now he's moved up into 6th place. This is a man on a mission right here. Oh, now Ford Sumo and Bugatti Slovan battling out. Oh, there was a lot of back contact there between Ford Sumo and Bugatti Slovan, and now he's just making it past Bugatti now. Is there a problem with Bugatti? He got damaged? No, I don't think he does. He just fell back, 3 places there?
Yeah, just lacking a bit of confidence maybe as we go around turn 9, watching Bugatti, who's fallen from 5th place, third place on the grid, and now might be losing another place as Danny looked to the inside, but he wasn't close enough to make a lunge. He might be trying it here around the outside, Lee. We're starting this overtakes of the month, and I think drivers are starting to pull some out of the bag as we've got the first retirement per Bowden, and we have the safety car on lap 6.
Yep, I think that was on the exit of turn 9. Most likely, I'm going to guess, as he just got that little bit too much on the exit and just binned it into the wall. It's quite an easy thing to do. I've done it myself a few times. So now we're on to 16.
So not sure what happened to Bowden there. He may put something in the chat. He's usually one of the ones that are quite talkative during qualifying. So if you are watching Perm Bowden, let us know what happened. I saw it was on the exit of turn 9, but on the track map, but we weren't able to actually see it. So the first safety car of the day, and I wasn't here last Thursday, Lee, but very similar to what happened last week because there was a safety car quite early on.
Yeah, so I mean, we're going to need to see because we'll have still got a good way back. Wondering if anyone's going to get in the pits, of course. If that's the case, then we could see, like, even Matthew possibly even take the lead if everyone pits. So it's one of them, do you or do you not? I think Chuck's going to be the one that's risking it all here tonight.
Interestingly, Aki's gone on the hard tyre, maybe thinking he can go all the way to the end.
Unless he could be going for that soft strategy at the end. But right now, my focus is on that Alfa Romeo as he ducks in. Josh McGill stays out. Oh no, I've seen quite a few people splitting up here.
Here we go. Then we got a comment from Perm Bowden.
I just need to get back on this. So,
No worries. So drivers in the pit lane, most of them going on the hard tyre. And I think if most of them are doing that, Lee, I think they're going to try and go to the end. So could be possible. We've had Coit go on the mediums. Don't think he's going to be able to go all the way to the end. Oh, Clay's just spun a little bit, Lee. And now he's down in 15th.
Oh, what? What position was he just before that when they came back?
12th. Oh, he's in 14th, sorry, not 15th. He's off a couple of places. I think he might have been 11th or 12th.
Yep, so Perm Bowden here, we've got the report in from him. He said he got in the power too much and he lost the back end when he's getting used to his V3 pedals. So somebody got new pedals, starting to get used to them, and
Coit's there, trying to overtake Clay the monkey. For some reason, all very tightly bunched up here, Lee. It's not the end of the safety car, so there's no need for them to be this close.
no, I mean, it is always safer to leave a bit of a gap between each other, and then it'll be able to give you a chance to just make sure that you don't hit each other and then get unnecessary penalties or damage even as well. No one wants that. But I think we're going to be doing another lap as we're waiting on Aki just coming up to the rear.
Yeah, so we'll get going on lap 10 as Aki makes his way on to lap 9 now and to the back of the pack. So we've got the top 8 that haven't pit. Josh McGill. Not sure whether this safety car has been a really good thing for him or kind of hindered him a bit.
I reckon this has helped him, to be honest, because, well, there's quite a bit of cars in between him and some of the other ones like Chuck, who are there on the hard compound tyres as well, possibly even end up going to the softs come the end of the race even.
As we now have the safety car in this lap. So Josh now leading the way. Oh my days.
Oh.
He's just about literally on board with him. This is probably going to give him a penalty though, isn't it? No. Got away with that. But I wouldn't feel obliged to give the place back.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you there.
So I think he's now down in 4. So Chuckle has gained the lead with a bit of a fluke. He's not expected it, so he's going to have to go out the final corner, which he does, and we get back underway. And he tries to get a bit of a launch from Matty Jones because his rival Chuck has pit and gone onto the hard tyres. So they're going to 2 different strategies as Josh McGill now making up places, goes up the inside at turn 1, moves back up onto the rostrum.
Yep, Chuck, though, he's aiming to try and get as much as he can. Oh, Matthew moving up quite rapidly on Croft there, just wasn't passing. Now he's going to be looking at that McLaren.
And there's a big fight. There's a big fight here for 12th place as the McLaren and the Ferrari go side by side through turn 5, make a little bit of contact, and Lee gets the exit and moves up as Matthew and Danny now switch places at turn 8.
Yep, Matthew seems to be quite quick here right now on these fresh hard compound tyres. He's assuming that Bugatti's slowing down. Oh,
Prof's going for... Oh, sorry, yeah, there's 2 of them. Symmetry in motion here as they were 2 by 2. 4 different cars going side by side through turn 12.
Yep, and it looks like Matthew now has got the Haas of Fox Sumo just ahead of him. And he's using a little bit of the battery, moves to the right hand side and smooth sailing a bit later on the brakes, and there you go. Moved up into 4th position already. Who is that? Is that Arg?
That's Arg. It is. Yeah, he is at turn 1, between 1 and 2.
I think Clay and Argy got caught up in that a lot.
Yeah, and Clay the Monkey trying to go around the outside here at turn 3 as Chuck is now falling down the order. He's made contact with Royal Rumble. This is not what he needed in this race. He's got a lot of work to do now.
Yeah, but it's going to be a bit of a tough one for him if he wants to be able to turn this around.
As we see RTG Lee looking to the right hand side, the outside line, and gets cut off by Prof.
Oh, Matthew though is right on the tailcoat of Josh McGill here. And you see that we've got that message from race control that DRS will now be enabled. Of course, we won't be able to see that until...
Oh, here we go, Lee. Josh McGill going up the inside of Matty Jones, who, yeah, they make contact, and he's around, close to the wall, but stays out of it, and he's having to reverse and get back on the circuit.
Going up the inside to turn 3 there, on Josh McGill there, and he just got it. But is Josh McGill going to have a wheel? No, he isn't. He's not able to get the car alongside enough. Matthew, though, moved up into 2nd place. Josh McGill there getting a bit of a walk up there at turn 5. Seeing Lee looking at Danny there.
Yeah, it was Lee, Danny, Coix, Prof, Looney Van and Clay the Monkey all fighting here. And Clay again looking racy after he had that spin under the safety car. Is he going to go for it here? He looks like he's had a quick car in a straight line all evening, and he goes up the inside, and he misjudged where the car was there, and he was able to correct it and didn't go into the back. Is he going to try and go for it around the outside here? No, doesn't have the grip to be able to do that, so he's going to have to try again as we go around turn 14 and onto the start finish straight. And it looked like Looney Man had a bit of a twitchy rear end through turn 13 as Matthew now moves up into the lead, and Play the Monkey not going past one, but potentially two here as he gets alongside Prof. After taking Looney Man, they go side by side. He's going to have the outside line for turn 2. Now the inside for turn 3. That is a fantastic overtake. We've got a virtual safety car. Not sure why that is.
That was Danny who, I think it was, crashed at turn 2. I'll have a wee quick look. Yeah, it was the McLaren of Danny. I think there was a little bit of contact, basically the same thing that happened to Matty Jones just a lap earlier.
I have to say, Lee, the changes they've made to this circuit in game form, I think the races have got a lot better.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Already.
Yep, definitely.
So the virtual safety car should end very soon. And now Chuckle goes into the pits and uses this opportunity. I was going to say, the pit drivers who haven't pit yet, this is a perfect opportunity for them now to come in.
Yep, I would say that definitely. Because I would say it is better to do it now than what they were before, because, well...
Oh, and now it's ended, but they've had about half... Well, no, it was still alright. They still had half the pit stop under a VSC, so it's better than just a standard pit stop.
True. Play the Monkey, so he's back up in 4th right now.
Wow.
And you're looking at a podium. Ooh, getting a little bit.
Yeah, I just caught that. Yeah, just gone on the grass on the left front. And probably the left rear as well, obviously. You only see the front 2 tyres. Is Matthew is now 5.5 seconds in the lead. After Chuckle, Pitt and Prof gets himself a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits.
So, it's... Okay, still quite close to the back of that McLaren there.
He is indeed as we go through turn 13. And now the final corner as we go onto the DRS straight. Looney Man also has the DRS. So I don't think Aki's going to have a go into turn 1 here. Not going to have the straight line advantage that he would do if Looney Man didn't have the DRS. As Chuckle loses position to Josh McGill. And as well, Lee, Coix Gamer up into second place after having not the best qualifying. I wouldn't say it was a poor qualifying. He qualified 11th, but probably not what he expected to be qualifying, seeing his pace since joining RTG.
Yeah, he's definitely had quite a few memorable races over the past few weeks. He has been here. That Danny and Royal Rumble battling out for the penultimate place. Right now, the battle for 15th. Looks like Danny's came out the victor there. But we'll go further up, we'll have a wee check. I'm seeing that Lee still managing to keep within that DRS of Coix Gamer just ahead.
Yeah, well, I think let's just double check this. Well, everyone's actually stopped now, Lee. So yeah, Matthew's in a really good place right now.
Yep, certainly. But some of these other drivers will have a little bit extra in their tyre life come the end, even. They could be a little bit more harsher on them tyres.
So, Matthew leading the way by almost 5 seconds as it stands on lap 16. But further back, we've got Josh McGill getting very close to the back of Matty Jones, and these drivers are really wanting to get further up. They're right at the front of the field after that safety car ended, but the way things have played out so far, it's moving down to the midfield pack, and getting past people like Matty Jones is vital, but not as easy as they would want it to be. As they go around turn 14, RTG Lee and Quick's Gamer have changed places on the start-finish straight. I've got a feeling that Josh McGill is going to switch places with Matty Jones, and he does. And then we've got Chuckle, who's going up the inside of the pair of them. We've already seen it once today, and by Clay the Monkey, we're seeing it again from RTG Chuckle.
So that was quite a spectacular move there.
And it meant that Matty Jones as well, he's lost a huge amount of time.
Yeah, I mean that's 2 seconds now between them.
And Josh now wanting to get the place back that he gained on Matty Jones, and then Chuckle snatched it from his grasp going into turn 1. It's still very close as well between Quakes Gamer and RTG Lee.
Yep, and there we go, Kayaks has managed to get back past that Ferrari. Get back on the racing line before the braking zone and get some of them marbles off them tyres. Josh McGill getting past Chuckle is on the last lap. Josh McGill never really made a position up past Matty Jones, but Chuckle managed to pass him. So having a wee quick further look back, Looneyman's managed to get back within that 1 second of that DRS window. Remembering back to a lap or two ago where they just managed to be out of that 1 second window there.
Yeah, well, it's starting to turn into a 5-car fight here, I think, for second place. There is 5 of them now. Obviously, Matthew is steaming away in the distance, and he's building a nice and comfortable gap where he doesn't have to be going at full pace and worrying about track limits or spinning. You can kind of just relax a little bit. It just sort of takes the edge off.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. He's not having to be battling with anybody, so he's not being held up or anything like that. So he's able to just breeze away.
And we all know the tyres are strange on this game as well, so battling with them as well can change the performance of them as well. It's getting a bit...
Oh, I've just came across a wee sudden realisation. Matty Jones is still yet to pit. He's not on the 18-lap-old mediums.
Oh, wow. And he's losing another place to his teammate here, Pop Sumo. Moves down to 11th. We've got Aki out. That could be a safety car. It is a safety car. That's perfect timing for Matty Jones. And what a driver's going to do now. We're going to have about 12 laps of racing, I think, when we get going. Would that be enough laps, Lee, to put on a set of softs? And of course, they're going to have fresh sets of softs as we had to restart the lobby.
Yeah, true.
I think softs would do it. If you looked after him in the under the safety car.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing that these mostly the people at the back, even just to make sure the tyres are a bit more okay as possibly even pit again
Yeah, soft
later
tyres.
on.
Soft
Yeah.
tyres are going on for the top three. Lee
Oh,
came in for a set of mediums. Josh McGill's come in. Chuckle's come in as well. They've all decided to do it. No one's decided to take track position. But this has been absolutely ideal as a drive-through penalty for ARG for speeding under the safety car.
Fox was staying on them 6-lap old half compound tyres. He's the only one who didn't pit. But sitting in third place quite now, and they're only 6-lap old hard. So I would say they're going to heat up a bit quicker. But then again, like you said, the tyres are a bit weird in this game.
Fair play. This has been quite a hectic race so far. The field has been really reorganised.
Yep, it certainly has. I think it's Royal Rumble just coming out the pits now as the safety car's rounding turn 9.
I think we'll get going again on lap 22, which will give us 12 laps, I think. I think that's spot on. But Fox Sumo, though, he's. I just think he's going to be a cork in the bottle here at best.
Yep. All I've got to say about that strategy is what the Fox. I mean, hard tyres at the end, all it is go for track position now. He's just going to have to defend it. But the thing is, he's also got that penalty looming over his head, that 3 seconds worth, which, judging by the way the pace of this whole field has been, he could be losing quite a lot of places.
And the other thing as well, if we were sat here a couple of years ago on F1 2021, I would say he might have a chance because the track was very different then. But I'm finding now this track is a lot better for overtaking. We always knew sort of turn 1, 2 and 3 could be quite good, and 4. But it's also made sort of the last sector as well quite a racy sector as well. It's just much more flowing, but it's going to be so much harder for him to defend in this new layout, new old layout.
Oh yeah, certainly, especially with how much the softs and mediums will get that extra grip coming out of the turn 13 and 14, and then of course still end up having the DRS most likely in the next few laps. You've seen the pace of Matthew that he's had just recently, and Koyaks as well, as we get that message from race control as we're just coming into the start of sector 3 now. That safety car is in this lap, so we're going to have about 12 laps of racing, I do believe, if my math is correct. So, it's going to be Matthew who's going to be leading us away.
He certainly is. On the soft tyres, he's played his strategy beautifully with the safety cars and VSCs that we've had this evening. But when is he going to go? Any time now as we go through turn 14. This is where Chuckle went before, earlier on. And he waits almost all the way to the line, which he's entitled to do. And he gets away now as we go on to lap 22 of 33 in this Spanish Grand Prix as Josh McGill moves up a place on that medium tyre, already looking quite strong. And we have Looney Man as well, has played a monkey, loses a place, but then tries to go around the outside of RTG Lee, who's trying to get a good result for the team today. Remember Ferrari and Alpha Tauri and McLaren, and potentially as well Alfa Romeo in the championship fight here for the constructors.
Sorry, Clay the monkey getting that run on the inside. There's a little bit of contact there between the two of them, but he manages to make it up the inside of Fox Sumo. And now Fox Sumo could be looking quite vulnerable to Lee in a Ferrari just behind. But Clay the monkey there is now got up onto that podium. But there's quite a considerable gap to the car ahead.
Oh,
Lee on the other hand, peeking
yeah.
down the inside of that Haas going into turn 10. And he's all over the rear of that Haas.
He was very indecisive as well. He was going for it, then he wasn't. He was going for it, and then he wasn't. But hopefully he will be able to, for his sake, get into 4th place at the end of this start-finish straight. DRS, of course, not open just yet, so just the battery and the slipstream at his disposal. He pulls out of that slipstream, and he looks like he's going to be comfortably ahead going into turn 1, and he moves up into 4th place, the highest runner of the on the mediums. And now Josh Miguel getting past Fox Sumu as well.
Yeah, we went and made full use of that.
Oh, it's Chuckle trying to go around the outside here. It gets on the grass, and he's now down in 11th place. 12th place now as he loses the pace to Bugatti, but then tries to instantly go back at the inside after being overtaken around the outside from Bugatti. They're going to go side by side, are they? No, he backs out and waits for a better place to go for the move again.
Yeah, I think possibly we could see possibly a report going in to the stewards about that. As, I don't know what exactly happened there. All it looked like they two made contact, and Choco ended up going off the track a little. Well, I say a little, looked like a whole lot. Matthew getting in the fastest lap of the rest of 1:13.46 and judging by the looks of things, the way things are looking right now, Chuck is moving up a place on Fox Sumo. Just as I say that, Lee and Josh McGill just up ahead are swapping places and battling it out. Fox Sumo and Danny also battling it out here. And Matty Jones having a wee look down the inside of turn 3 on Danny, and he's having a look at his teammate, but
Danny getting in a spot of, yeah, getting in a spot of bother there, and then Chuckle moves up into 10th and takes that away from Danny. Is Chuckle going to go for the Fox Sumo here? No, waits, and every lap that goes on, I'm sure Fox Sumo is regretting his decision to stay out, and Danny also looking very racy behind Chuckle. But here he goes to the left-hand side, to the inside at turn 10. He moves up into 9th place.
Yeah, you could really tell the difference in the tyres here compared to Fox Sumo compared to the rest of the field who are on the softer and fresher tyres. And yeah, look at that, it's already almost a second gap, and you see Danny just breezing past on the medium tyres. And also we've got Bugatti Sloven. Oh, and it looks like Fox didn't see.
Oh, they made contact at the apex of turn 2.
And they'll proper Royal Rumble battling out at turn 3. Prof managing to come out the victor in that one. Royal Rumble first. Unfortunately enough, not managing to get that position off of Prof in the Mercedes.
So the top two still so close together. Of course, Coix wasn't here for the first 2 rounds. He hasn't attended another 2, but he's had some very decent results. Coming 3rd place, yeah, 3rd place with the pole position as well in his first race, and he's won the race in Portugal. Didn't attend the week after that, and then he won last week in Mexico, and he's in 2nd place right now. And just had a really strong season since he's joined.
Josh McGill getting that 3-second time penalty. So this is going to change how things are. Chuck, on the other hand, moving up into 5th place on leader, and stealing that place off of that Ferrari just there.
So Matthew still leading the way, but he does have a Red Bull breathing down his neck and comfortably staying behind him. And I'm just wondering if that Red Bull is just biding his time, just waiting for a bit further on in the race. As we've also got this fight for 4th place as well, and this might be, as we have a yellow flag in the middle sector. I think that was ARG. As Chuck now.
And Josh McGill. Oh, I'm getting a 3-second time penalty. Chuck managed to move up on the Alpha Tauri of Josh McGill there, that's what I call him, George McGill. Yeah, so he's managed to move up, but he's got Clay the Monkey just ahead of him. Oh, Josh McGill going a wee bit wide there, and that's quite a bit of time to lead. He just managed to get that overtake. Chuck, on the other hand, has got 2.2 seconds to gain, well, 2.4 now, on Clay the Monkey, who's managed to get a good exit out of turn 5 there, and actually gained a couple of tenths up on Coyote's Gamer ahead. So nicely done there, getting that. I'll have a wee quick look further back. Oh, Shuckle is getting real close to the back of the McLaren of Looneyman as they're just coming up to turn 10 now. Smooth one, that's quite nice, I would say. It's not as sharp and sudden. Nice flowing one. Same with this one here, turn 13. He is. Chuckle will have the DRS again. He's using that battery. Getting out the slipstream, moves to the right hand side. Looneyman's going to have the outside line for turn 1. I don't think they're both ringing their batteries out like a sponge there. And Chuckle manages to make up that place on the McLaren of Looneyman and is up into 8th place.
Yeah, it's good from him. Trying to take back some places that he lost a few laps ago. I've just been, whilst you've been talking here, I've just been keeping an eye on the top 2, and it hasn't changed at all. The other thing to mention is that Matthew, 2 weeks ago, in Qatar, got the hat-trick, got the pole, got the win, got the fastest lap, went away with maximum points. There's only been 2 drivers this season that's been able to do that. Chuckle did it in round 2. But this might be, potentially, if it stays the way it is, be the only driver this season to do it twice in a row. Not twice in a row, but twice this season. Obviously, not doing it last week with Coix getting the win, who's trying to do so again. So it's really been a battle between these two the last few weeks.
Oh, Shuckle, they're actually flying past it, Matty Jones. And then I just seen, I think it was Bugatti Slovan and Danny swapped places also. But yeah, as you were saying, it looks like Matthew, if he manages to hold this lead and get this win, then he's going to be getting the triple here tonight. Fastest lap for his win and pole position. So 2 out of 3 up to now. As the saying goes, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
It certainly isn't. He's just trying to build a bit of a gap from Coix there, but of course the DRS in F123 is quite strong, so you've got to have a really decent parts of the lap where there isn't the DRS, and it's just still being able to hold on to Matthew's coattails at the moment. And everyone's just starting to get a little bit light on battery. And I don't know about you, Lee, this is the point in a race for me where I don't really use it from, I'd have been about lap 28, and I try and save the last couple of laps. Oh, where's he round? He's round at turn 11. Is Matty Jones, his teammate, moved up into 7th place.
Fox similar. I think he's going to be retiring this one. As I'm not sure if he's got any damage yet.
Yeah, he has.
He's had enough of this.
Yeah, he's retired. So when we cross the line, Lee, we're going to have 3 laps to go. And even though we've had a couple of safety cars, I felt like this race has gone quite quickly, to be honest.
Yeah, it has gone quite quickly. We've seen battling happening all over the field today, which is always quite fun.
It is indeed, and we've seen some drivers spin out, like Chuckle did earlier on, having to try and fight through the field again. We're getting to the point of the race, Lee, where we're going to have to think about, we didn't last night, but what I've remembered today, driver of the day. For me, hands down, it would be Clay the Monkey, but I don't think Clay the Monkey is a full-time driver. Chuck is able to hold on to 4th place, but talking about the driver behind Chuck, or going on to talking about the driver behind Chuck, if we can't pick Clay the Monkey, which is who I would pick, if you've got to drive off the course, I think that was Fox Sumu's AI car. I would be going for Lee, because Lee hasn't had too many strong performances this season. And this one will be one of his best all year, or potentially, this season. I think would be the best result he's had.
Yeah, I would say that he has done quite well this race, as his
best result so far is 8th place. So if he could get 4th, and because Clay, well, hold on a minute, Lee. I always forget this, and we'll have to try and remember. This fight we're actually seeing here is the fight for the podium.
Oh yeah, essentially, yeah. Never even realised that, so we've got shots. I mean, look something look down inside, but think better of it right now. Which I could see that he's lining up a move for the next lap.
So now, as we've got 1.5 laps left to go, we're seeing the top 2 now getting closer and closer, and this is the time where they have to make up these places. Matthew having a touch more battery than Coit's Gamer, but of course Coit's having the DRS, so they're both in a very similar position, and I get the feeling that Matthew's just let him on by there. Or did he have a bit of a mistake and I missed it?
I have no idea. I was on board with Lee and shot just up.
Okay, well you keep an eye on them. I'll keep an eye on the leaders as they come around the final corner for the penultimate time, and now going down the start-finish straight fully for the final time. So this is Matthew's one and only chance to get back past, and he has done, well I say one and only chance, there is a couple more chances, but his best chance, and he does move up into 1st place again. So I think that might have been a bit of tactics there with DRS, as Chuckle now moves up into 7th place. We need to do some maths as well. 6th place is probably where Chuckle's going to finish, with Josh McGill having that time penalty. Is it enough? As we're on the final lap. Yeah, please do. As we're on the final lap and we're going down the back straight for the final time. Coit's Gamer trying to get closer and closer, but he isn't close enough to go for the overtake as we go into the final few corners of this penultimate round here in Spain. And now the penultimate corner. And now the final corner, and we're going to watch Matthew cross the line to get a hat-trick in this race. He gets maximum points in Spain as Coit's Gamer gets on the podium. Clay the Monkey is 3rd, but he will be dropped out as he is a reserve, so that means Chuck ends up in 3rd place with Lee in 4th, and Chuckle will be 5th. 5th, Lee. I don't know if you still heard that, I know you did it yourself, but he will actually be 5th, not 6th. So we're waiting for confirmation on whether Chuckle has also done it in the penultimate round, like Short Marcus did yesterday. And another point to note, which I'm sorry I didn't catch, but Danny only half a tenth behind Bugatti at the end of that race, and we have now come to the end. We're just waiting for Arg, who's making his way around turn 9.
think the championship is going to still be alive, quite possibly.
Do you know the points?
Not exactly.
Oh, points game, dear now. Oh, that's strange. But no, that's not how it is. Hopefully it'll be. Right, so the points, Lee, are... no, Chuck is going to have... He is in third place. That is actually now technically right for him. Chuck's going to have 20 points. And where did Chuckle finish? One place up from where he was, which is what? Fifth. He got 16 points. So that is it, isn't it?
We'll get back to you on that, right? But right now,
I'll tell you what, I'll do it as you've got to do the rundown. So don't worry, let me do it.
right.
I'll do it.
But we'll need to join another party if we're going to do that. Yeah, we forgot to do that. But right now, we'll have a wee quick rundown. We've got Matthew, who gets all three, the whole triple. The win, the pole, and the fastest lap there. He gets the maximum points there. Clay the Monkey was in third, technically, because Clay Ice Gamer somehow retired. So Chuck in fourth, Lee in fifth, Chuckle in sixth, seventh was Matty Jones, Josh McGill in eighth, Lehman in ninth, 10th was Bugatti Sloven, 11th was Danny Prof in 12th, 13th was Royal Rumble, Ark was 13th, and then this just confused the blooming hell out of me. So yeah, Fox Sumo retired, Aki and Pernboden also retired.
It goes on another week.
Yep.
There's a 5-point difference, I believe.
Yeah.
Right, we'll join the other party. Apologies, we didn't do the rundown. I'm sorry for that. So we're just waiting for Lee, and if drivers want to have a podium interview, we usually stay in this chat the whole time, but forgot to do it today. So we'll just wait a minute or so, Lee. I just apologise for not doing the rundown. I suppose we could... we didn't see the full order, did we? Well, we did on the stream. We did on the stream, to be fair.
Yep, so...
So we just wait for Lee to find out.
So I've went and seen... Just waiting on other people joining right now.
So yeah, we'll just wait a minute to do the interview, just to see if... oh, well, no, we're not going to have Quakes for an interview, so we'll miss out on the second place interview. So, Matthew, well done, bud. That was your second win this season with the hat trick and the maximum points. So you must be chuffed after that one.
Yeah, really good race in the end, turned out to be. But I was frustrated off the line though. Clutch didn't work again, so I dropped to dead last on the start.
I
But
mean,
strategy played out really well with the VSCs and safety cars and stuff, which brought me right back up to the top, and obviously I won.
do you know what? How bad's that of me? I completely forgot you messed up. Well, I'm not saying that you did, but your start was messed up. What happened then?
The button on my wheel sometimes just doesn't work with the clutch. So I'm holding it in, I'm holding the revs, and as I release it, just nothing happens.
See, I always
It did
use
it.
the
It did it in the pits a few weeks ago.
upshifter for my clutch.
I use
Yeah,
that
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
for
easy.
my gears.
Yeah, I'm surprised you used a button. Oh yeah, I did wonder what happened. I thought it might have glitched for a second. You were going to be like out in the lead, but obviously, yeah, that was the strange one. But obviously, you called it so well with the safety cars and the VSCs. You didn't. Well, no, I don't think you did anything under the VSC, did you? It was the two safety cars that you changed your strategy or changed tyres. But it worked really, really well in the end. I was super impressed.
Yeah, when the first safety car came out, I pitted off the softs for the hards and to go to the end really. And on the restart, I got an almighty restart. I got to first before the VSC came out, which is like 5, 6 laps I think it was in between safety car and VSC. So really proud about that. Everyone else pit behind me, and that just sort of not handed me the win, but I was in a comfortable first position. Obviously fighting at the end though with Quakes.
Yeah, and you both have been. I said on the stream that you two have really been fighting for the wins recently.
Yeah, new battle emerging between us two. Love it.
Yeah, no, he's both very good, and we were saying last night in the interviews that unfortunately the DRS is a bit too powerful, isn't it? So you can find that some people are that get close to you when there's quite a few DRS straights or it's a shorter track like it is here. Not
Yeah,
taking anything away from him, but it does make it a little bit easier. I found to stay with someone. It's good for us.
yeah. I mean, with the DRS, I could get to like well, 8 tenths, but not to a full second, and I felt I had the pace to pull away, but the DRS was just dragging him back in towards my bumper, my rear end. So that's why on the second last lap, I thought I'd let him go and just go for it on the last lap into
Yeah,
turn one, which worked.
yeah. I played the DRS game. I liked it. Man after my own heart in that one. Have you got anything, Nick?
Um, I wouldn't say so. Like, how did you feel like coming from like the back of the grid all the way up and actually getting the win?
It was all thanks to that safety car, I think. Getting off them softs onto the hards and just having a really, really good restart from the safety car. Obviously, getting to first from that.
Yeah, I would say that did manage to turn your luck around in your favour there.
Yeah, very, very lucky.
So anyway, congratulations, mate. So next
Thank you.
week is Saudi. How do you feel about that track? Do you enjoy it? Hope to get a good result there.
Saudi. Oh, I love it. I love it. One of my favourite tracks.
So that's our finale. You're going to be there for Abu Dhabi next week as well on Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll be there for both. Try and
Cool.
win both championships, the constructors with Chuck.
Cool.
That's it.
Yeah. So Chuck, you live to fight another week. So I think we've worked out that
I do.
you're still in it. Um, Obviously odds aren't really in your favour at the moment, but you never know. Anything could happen.
No, there's plenty of walls at Jeddah.
We could
Bit
also
of
just
luck,
give you
bit of
give,
luck
give,
needed.
give your brother some medium rare chicken or something the day before. Tactics and all. I didn't say
They'll be listening.
that. So no, it was a decent race to be fair for you. I thought from your point of view.
Yeah, I messed my last run up in quali, but I still managed to start P4. When I pitted, felt good, but then I got damage once me and Matthew were trying to come back through on the yards. So, but then I managed to get back in front of Curtis, but when safety car come out, obviously I had the advantage being back in front of him, but I had damage, so
Yeah.
once we'd all been through pits, he was back in front. Unfortunately, someone run him off a track. We won't talk about that.
Who got run off the track? Sorry.
Chuckle.
Oh, yeah, Chuckle did get. Yeah, so he did make some progress back up though. To be fair,
Yeah, it did well to get back up to where he finished.
I think we said he finished 5th in the end. So
Yeah.
obviously would have. It was quite interesting at the start as well. You two fighting at the front.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. It's been a while since we've done that.
Yeah, no, it has been a little while. Like just looking at the standings. You've just been quite super consistent, to be honest, especially in the middle part of the season. You've been very consistent. We haven't actually had a win this season, have you? Surprisingly,
Me and Curtis were talking about it earlier. I haven't had a win in any tier this season.
just loving that second and third at the moment by the looks of things for us on the standings. But Chuckle though, he only won the first 2 rounds, but just again, he's just been really consistent being on the podium.
It just goes to show you don't need to win every week to be up there. And
No, when I was saying in the stream and just saying, like, Matthew and Coix have been getting the wins the last few weeks. So if they'd started with that with you guys at the start of the season, it may have been. If you guys are all in for next season, it might get a bit more interesting, especially with, as I said, Coix and Matthew obviously performing a lot better in this game.
yeah, it would be good to see that 4-way battle.
And do you like Saudi, or is that a bit of a thumbs down circuit for you?
It's 50-50 there usually for me. I normally do well or I normally do not so well, so we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, so we got one more round to go, and as I said, well, hopefully for your sake something happens to Chuckle next week. But as I said, you're still in it for another week, so just fingers crossed that something goes well for you. But anyway, I'm sure we'll speak to you next week at some point or anything like that. You've been on the podium quite a lot in both days. I think you have on Wednesday as well, haven't you?
I don't think this week. I think a couple of weeks before.
Yeah. No, I was just saying consistently, sort of also kind of being on the podium. Yeah. A couple of times. Anyway, okay. Well, thanks very much, guys, for joining us for an interview, and thanks everyone that's watched along for the entirety of the stream. It's much appreciated. Of course, going into the final week next week, the last week of the LGE channel before we rename ourselves. So make sure to check that out and please smash that like and subscribe button. So anyway, hopefully we'll get it right this time, Lee. It's goodbye from me and from Lee.
Peace out.